sitting on his front porch, singing about a dirt road, sipping his cherry wine. He said, Tay, this'll never get old, and I'm gonna tell you why. It's called a simple lie. So unwind your mind and give it a try. Back in Southern California, running in a rat race, I can't get no real love.
Yo, what's going on? Welcome to the We got Taylor Ray today. Woo-hoo! All right, Taylor, what's going on? But before we get started, Taylor, I got to give a couple shout outs to FN Scar platforms. We want to thank you for always sponsoring us. Shout out to Dunkin' Donuts crew down at Fish Hot. We just want to say, if you say embrace the power when you go through the drive-thru, they give you a free donut. And to my Bugs fan club at Newsom High School, you guys rock. And let's get started. Taylor, where are you at and how are you doing today, Miss Lady?
I am doing great. I'm in Austin, Texas right now. It is sunny and 80 degrees and springtime here.
That's all right. Got some cherry blossoms coming around probably. Hey, so I heard you've been on the road a lot, and we were talking earlier before you came on. Like, where have you been in the last couple of weeks on your road while you've been traveling?
I've been to California, all over California, and then Nashville, Knoxville, Lexington, Kentucky, Asheville, North Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina, Macon, Georgia, and back.
Well, you were in Macon, Georgia. How did that go? Because, you know, my stepdad lives in Warner Robins, which is outside Macon. Cool. Nice area. And I'm a Georgia Southern grad. So what kind of scenes were you doing? Were you doing festivals, or were you doing bar scene, or were you doing what kind of was your circuit when you were on the road this time?
I was doing, it was a radio tour, and then I was doing venues, local venues that a lot of them, I was surprised, a lot of them were like sit down listening rooms, which is so nice for a songwriter who's been playing hotels and bars for the last 7 years. At Christmas, when people are listening to your original music. So it was so great. And in Macon, I was actually just on the station there and then did a session at Capricorn Studios, which was really exciting. It was like the Allman Brothers studio.
Whoa!
So a day of recording there, which was so fun.
So that's nostalgia. You got to do the Allman Brothers studio. Hey, those guys were good country singers back in the day, because that's my era. You're going way back, girl. Oh, yeah. Hey, but you know what I was going to ask you is when did you get started in music? Because you're originally from California, and so you're a growing artist, and you've been in the industry a while, but you've really started to pick it up, and people are really starting to hear your music, and you're starting to get a lot of promotion. So, like, how did it start? And then, you know, how did you end up in Austin?
Yeah. Okay. So I guess the kind of quick version is I've been doing music forever. It was always like, there was no plan B. It was like, I'm going to be a singer, and that's what I'm doing with my life. And everyone was supportive. So I went to music school after high school, lived in LA for a while, started playing with bands, and then moved back to Santa Cruz and just did years of gigs, like really, really just getting the chops, paying the dues. Solo acoustic gigs, like 6 gigs a week, you know, averaging probably like 200 a year.
Wow.
And then I did that for like 6 years, and I was getting really burnt out, and I'd always wanted to move to Austin. So I thought that was my out. I was like, I need to get away from this scene, because when you're in the flow and you're making good money, it's nice, you know.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to walk away though.
Yeah, but it's soul sucking, because, you know, playing covers and I called it like sonic wallpaper.
Yeah,
you're just there to create somebody else's vibe, like you're not, you know, sharing your art. But yeah, it was great. I'm so glad I had that experience. But I moved out here, and since I've been here, I focused more on writing and playing original gigs. And
all right. So,
yeah, we did the album last year in 2021. And that's kind of when everything really started to pick up, because I wanted to do it 110%. I was like, all right, if I'm going to do this thing, we're going to do it the right way. And so we brought on tons of people for the team, the Taylor Ray team. So
Oh, right. So you guys went full force. So let me ask you a question. So out of high school, when did you kind of make a decision that you're going to decide to be a starving artist and and put your heart into it? Because a lot of people make decisions after they go to college. Or did you go to college and play music, or did you just like, okay, after high school, this is it?
It was it. Yeah. My high school counselor even she told me not to take the SAT or the ACT. She's like, you're going to be a musician. You don't need to apply to these universities. I already knew I wanted to go to school, and I just did a couple years there getting like a vocal performance degree.
Oh, no. Hey, but you're doing great, because we're looking at your website right now. You got these killer photos. Yeah, I mean, whoever your marketing is gorgeous. Your videos are awesome. You're at least setting a really good trend. And I like it earlier before we came on, but you saying about your music inspiration. So like, who inspired you? Who are your inspirations? Because you're from Santa Cruz, the banana slug country. So like who were you inspired? Was it the Beach Boys, or like who inspired you as you came up?
I think as a songwriter and female performer, my biggest inspirations were Sheryl Crow and Carole King, Bonnie Raitt, Norah Jones. Those are some big ones.
Oh yeah. So how do you look at your quality of your music when you're performing? And I know you're performing because you're Taylor Ray, but kind of what's your legacy on being remembered as that artist? What do you kind of like when people compare you? Where do you see yourself being compared to? I like that you said Sheryl Crow, because I never really considered Sheryl Crow country music, but hey, what do I know?
I like Sheryl Crow. I like Sheryl Crow.
She's amazing. Yeah, I think more than any like genre, I try hard not to box myself into any genre. So I'd like to be remembered just as a songwriter, a writer who just wrote whatever.
You don't want to be labeled, right? Is that what it is? I don't mean to interrupt, but you don't want to be labeled.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So you want to be a genre, universal song person. So would you ever do rock or anything like that? Like a mixture?
Yeah, I did a lot of Southern rock. Forgiveness is I think the 9th song on the album, maybe the 10th, and that one goes hard. I mean, that one's like Zeppelin. Zeppelin was our big inspiration for that. So yeah, I think the album has a little bit of everything. I would say there's only one country song on there, in my opinion, which is the single.
Right.
It's like easier to market as country, but yeah.
Hey, so what about siblings and stuff? So your family, you told me they relocated down to Austin. So like, how many siblings you got? What do you guys got going on? I mean, your parents got to be supportive. They left all beautiful Southern California, and moved back down to Austin. And Austin's a great college town to be able to put music out. You get the influence of being able to play the college scene there is a remarkable audience. So what's the family like with you? You have siblings?
Yes, I have an older brother who's married and has 3 daughters, and he was the first one to move out here. He moved out here for a job, which was convenient for me because I already knew I wanted to live here. So he moved out here, and then my parents wanted to be grandparents close by. So they wanted to retire here. And then I have a younger sister, and she did her master's here. So now everyone is.
Oh, so she at University of Texas graduate?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, go Longhorns. Oh, Lord. Yes. Hey, so what song do you got for us today?
I'm going to do Home on the Road because I just, it's a nice sunny day here. I feel like this is the most upbeat song I could choose today.
Rock it out. Rock it out.
So close and living with the heads down low, hoping we can find a little bit of ourselves where the rubber meets the road.
Yeah.
You got a prime 79 black Chevy step van.
That's some bluegrass.
So fire it up, breathe it in slow. Gotta do it now before we get old. Shake down your salty spirit, the one I used to know. Let your dreaming a whole lot more to live for than this town. Let's put the old van into drive and go, making home on the road. It's 104 on the side of 85 at a rest stop. A heat gauge red light, and I got one thought: to pass the time. It ain't so great, but it could be worse. So we crack a couple cold ones to lift the curse. When all we got to cheers to lights. And we may be too broke now to cross the city line. But when you got nowhere to be, you can't make bad timing. So shake down your salty spirit, the one I used to know. Let your dreaming mind free your wandering soul. And we got a whole lot more to live for than this town. Let's put the old van into drive and go, making home on the road. Making home on the road, yeah. Shake down your salty spirit, the one I used to know.
She killing it, Mike.
Leave in mind, free your wandering soul. And we got a whole lot more to live for this town. Let's put the old van into drive and go, making home on the road. Making home on the road, yeah. Making home on the road, yeah. Making home on the road.
That was nice. That was nice.
Hey, she was smiling away when she was saying, man, that is her passion.
Well, it's fun. I like watching the video of it while I'm singing. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
That's how we do.
That's how we do. That's how we do. Hey, so where are we going to see you at next? So you're getting ready to get out on the road. I know you just got off the road, but hey, I'm sorry. When are you getting back on the road? And like, where are some of the areas and places that you're going to be so people can see you?
I am going to be in California on April 15th with my band in Santa Rosa.
Okay.
Then we are flying out to Nashville and we're doing a show here. I don't know. We're flying to Austin first.
Okay.
From Austin, we're doing a show here at the Ballroom on the 17th of April. And then we're flying to Nashville and we're doing a show on 420 at Dee's Country Cocktail Lounge, and that one is going to be fun.
That's I see, because you're rocking it, and Mike's just scrolling through what your upcoming events. Hey guys, if you're out there, Taylor's got a killer website. Get on it. Mike's flashing through it. So, hey Taylor, so let me ask you this question: as you've evolved in your singing, what are some of the pitfalls or some of the things that you think that when you first started out, that impacted you to where you're at right now, that you think, hey, I did this right, I wish I'd have done this earlier? What are some of those, those deja vu moments or moments that you reflect? 'Cause I'm sure you've done a lot of reflecting over the last, you said 10 years. So I'm sure you look back and say, hey, I wish I'd have took this gig or I didn't. So, like kind of give us a flavor of, how did your process go as you evolved to where you're at right now?
Yeah, reflecting back is always funny because there's like, I should have done this or I could have done that, but I'm so happy with where I'm at now, and none of that would have happened. Like, this was the path and every single thing had to happen the way it did in order for me to get here. However, I would say the thing I wish I did the most would be to not listen to people. Like when I was younger, I did a lot of listening to what everybody else thought I should be doing. So I was a big people pleaser too, and I had to break that habit. So I would sacrifice my own artistry or style to just make sure somebody else was feeling okay about what we were doing. That was a big lesson. That was a big lesson for sure. I was
Lesson learned, and now you're doing your thing. There you go.
easily influenced.
You don't
Yeah,
have to
I
worry
would tell
about that.
myself to just like really think about what you want and do it.
So you had to learn to say no.
Yes. Definitely.
You know, as an artist, you know, you go through ups and downs and on the road. So like if you had any advice for younger people that are going to pursue being artists and throw themselves into it, you know, it's glamorized on TV. You see all the different movies. They show the person start out with the band, they fall out, they build a band, and then they start their own band. But but Hollywood skips a lot of the pitfalls and struggles of people. So can you kind of touch on it when young people watch this podcast? To kind of let them understand that, you know, some of the things that the challenges that you face to get where you're at right now, because people see your success. They don't see the journey. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. I would say if you're just starting out in music career, get really, really good at what you want to do. You know, I try and focus in on one thing and get really, really good at that one thing, because anything that happens after that, you already got the most important part covered. You know, I was like, any opportunity that comes in is fine. I don't have to get ready for tour because I've been playing for so long. So make sure your craft is like really honed in. And the other thing I would say is get specific about what you want. You know, manifestation, say what you will about it, but that has been huge for me. It's really crazy, like what I've seen come to fruition just based on like sitting down every day, doing a meditation, and like getting really specific about the goals I want to achieve.
Wow.
As if they've already happened. So yeah, believing in yourself, that sounds cheesy, but it's really true. You know, believe that you're already there.
That's a perfection. No, that's perfect. That's not cheesy. No.
Yeah,
I'm on your side. That ain't cheesy. Whoever thinks that, whatever.
That's on point. So you're a songwriter. So how much emphasis do you give people as they get ready to write songs? Because a lot of people steer away from it.
Sorry, what was the question?
Hey, Mike, I think your mic's on. There we go. Yeah. All right, there we go. I'll echo it away. All right, so you're a songwriter. And as you, write music, what advice do you give people that want to pursue songwriting? Because there's a lot of artists that can sing and they want to write music and then they don't do it. So you've taken another level because you're actually writing music, you know, composing it, making it happen. So what advice do you give to people that, you know, want to pursue making sure that they're writing song music and finding inspiration? Because, you know, that's not easy. Not everybody can do that.
Yeah. Journaling every day really helps starting out. When I write songs, I don't write songs in like a conventional way necessarily, so I don't know how good this advice is, but I try and write just from a subconscious place. So whatever comes to my mind first is like, I really try and keep that in the song, whether it's a melody or lyrics. And I've found that the more vulnerable you can get in a song, the more relatable it is. Even if you think it's so personal and you're like exposing your life, people really connect to that.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think, if you're just starting out and you haven't written before, teaming up with somebody who has, like, collaborating, you know, would be a good idea. Just like kind of learn how the process goes.
So who have you collaborated with? And because I noticed I haven't seen you on like a lot of people are starting to do their own live shots on StreamYard or on YouTube, and they're singing with other artists. And so have you started looking at that process as you continue to go?
Yeah, I haven't done too many co-writes, you know, what they call them in Nashville, because I have a really hard time just walking into a room on any given day that's like scheduled and coming up with the song. Like I wait for it to come to me, which is why I could probably never be a staff songwriter, that is another skill, which I am just like always amazed by. But I do love to collaborate on other people's albums. So a lot of my friends will make records and they want me to feature on a song or just sing backups. And I love the production side of music too. And so any chance I get to work on somebody else's music, I'll take it for sure.
Awesome. Do you mentor any young artists right now?
Not officially, but I do. I have friends that are doing, a really similar thing to what I'm doing, and we all share information. I like to be in a community where we're not holding our contacts or like our venues. Sharing and just it took me a long time to figure out the right way to do things, and I want to share that knowledge, and I've also learned so much from my friends too.
Oh, that's great. And Mike, when you were about to hit your mic, what you got? Because I'll turn mine off so you can talk.
Man, I like your shirts, by the way. I'm going to show everybody these shirts. Check this out. Product. Hold on. This is cool. This is for your album, right?
Yeah.
Oh, check out the gear.
Yep. Yeah, the shirts came out cool. I love them.
Yeah, we're going to call it the swag.
Yeah.
All right, so T Money, what we got next is we're waiting on another song, girl, and you know what? Drop it like it's hot because we're ready to go.
All right, let's do it. I'm gonna do a song on the album called "Wait and See." It's towards the end of the album, and this one kind of felt like the light at the end of the tunnel. The album's called Mad 20s, and it's kind of a concept album, being that all the songs were written, in the years of my 20s and the ups and downs, but the song "Wait and See" closes out the album as a beacon of hope, about being patient and putting yourself first, sometimes your needs first, before you can move on to the next thing or help anybody else out. So I'm so tired of keeping up. I've been trying and trying. It never feels like enough. I don't have time, so I let it slide, hoping one day I'll find
she has a good voice, man.
To toe your line. Nobody knows the space you take up in my head. I can't forget what you said about me. My heart decided to go on right ahead. Fan your flame instead, bark up your tree. Oh, the future's bright when I see myself in your company. But I'm still 100 miles away, so there's nothing left to do but wait and see. You gotta wait and see. Only time will tell if I've done well. One day I'll wake up in the morning and I'll feel like myself.
Dude, that is not country music.
Maybe easier to stay in my same old ways. I'll do the work to make a change. Maybe then, I can meet you halfway. Nobody knows the space you take up in my head. I can't forget what you said about me. My heart decided to go on right ahead. Fan your flame instead, bark up your tree. Oh, the future's bright when I see myself in your company. But I'm still 100 miles away, so there's nothing left to do but wait and see. You gotta wait and see.
this on my own, even if that means letting you go. 'Cause nobody knows the space you take up in my head. I can't forget what you said about me. My heart decided to go on right ahead. Fan your flame instead. Bark up your tree. Oh, the future's bright when I see myself in your company. But I'm still 100 miles away, so there's nothing left to do but wait and see. You gotta wait and see. You gotta wait and see. Oh, you gotta wait and see.
Hey, Taylor, let me tell you something. That's a Key West song all day long, man. You know this. I'm telling you, kick it in a Key West with a good adult beverage.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. I don't like that, but
oh my God, that song is beautiful. Yeah. I was like, man, all I was thinking about was, hey, you know what? I was in Key West a couple of months ago. That would have been just like sitting out watching the sunset. Booyah.
Stress reliever all day. I was like, oh man, I want a margarita or something now.
Right? Yeah, no, that sounds really good right now. Actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, so the last before we get out of here, and we gotta have this, is that any advice, what is your imprint and what do you want your eulogy to look like when you get ready to walk away after all this? Because you got about 30 more years of good singing left in you, homie, or a lot longer. So before that, what would you really like to leave young people with? And, and what is your imprint?
Yeah, I would say I would be happy with everything as long as I knew I was always true to myself and as vulnerable as I could be with friends and family and strangers. That's just how I connect people through my songwriting and the rawness of it. Because life honestly sucks, like most of the time. And, we're all in it together. And that's not to say it's not beautiful, because it is, but that's how I would want to be remembered. That's what I want to leave behind, just knowing that I was the rawest form of myself with everybody.
Wow, that's deep.
Ooh, but it does suck, you're right. I mean, I had to just jump in there and express myself. Yes. But it's still dope. We're good. We're here.
As the famous lines that we always say, the struggle is real.
It's real, and it never stops. No matter what you achieve and what you do, like, it's just hard. We're out here to learn, That's what we're here for. So of course it's going to be hard. You can't learn a lesson unless you do it wrong.
Yeah, and you're chalking it up for experience. So you know what? I was going to ask, and I didn't want to let you go before I asked you this. How much time do you actually spend rehearsing before you because I think a lot of people don't realize how much time you guys, or a person like yourself, puts just getting ready for a show weeks before. So how long do you actually rehearsal?
With the band, my dudes are so awesome, and we don't live in the same place. So we'll just spend one day normally. But everyone does their homework, and I know that they put in a lot of work. As for me in solo shows, I've done thousands of them. So not a whole lot has to go into preparation. However, you got to warm up your voice, and your hands, and if you're up there for hours, that's really important. So yeah, the hours before the show are spent warming up, getting in the zone.
Oh, all right, yeah, because I'm deaf-toned, so I can't sing a lick. But I need Martha to do Miss Martha Moore and Taylor. I would love for you guys, and I've got to send a note. You guys ought to sing at the Strawberry Festival here in Tampa, Plant City. It's one of the biggest venues they have here. And I was just out there this summer. This just a couple weeks ago. They had a bunch of artists out here. I would love to hear you come out there and jam out. But I know I've been invited to Nashville to hear it.
Yeah. Oh man, I really want to take a trip out there. I've never been to the Tampa area, but I've heard such good things. And I know we just started spinning on some of the stations there. So
oh yeah.
So I definitely want to make it out. I really like Florida. And I would love to see you guys there. That would be
Hey, that's right. That's right. What do we always say, Mike? When they get big, don't forget the little people, right, man? All right.
Me. Don't forget about me. No.
All right. So, Taylor, hey, we had a great time with you, and we really appreciated you coming out and singing, knocking out a couple tunes. Hey, everybody out there, you need to check out Taylor Ray. We've been pushing her website, her music, and you're on Spotify, correct?
Yep.
She's on everything. So get on the platform, buy her music. Hey, buy her swag, which is as awesome. She's got a new album out. And Taylor, as we always say, we appreciate you coming on. But as me and Mike always say, keep it rolling.